The first thing Captain Aaron Hale noticed about the throne room of the Zevarian Dominion was how quiet it was. Not silent. Zevarian structures were alive, softly pulsing like they breathed, but quiet in a way that crushed every movement, as though the entire space held its breath. Aaron stood alone in the long crystalline hall, flanked by 1,000 bioforged pillars that glimmered with shifting colors. Each pulse of light reminded him that this was not human territory, not human technology, not human rules. And somewhere beyond the glow, beyond the echoing rhythm, waited her, the alienqueen, Queen Seralith, ruler of the Zevarian Dominion. And today, strangely, his patient. Aaron swallowed hard. He was a mechanic, not a diplomat. Certainly not someone meant to approach a queen whose people had once threatened to wipe humanity off the star maps. But he had been summoned. Not requested. Not invited. Summoned. The massive doors behind him sealed with a whisper. And then he heard the soft, approaching steps. Light, but powerful. Rhythmically controlled. Confident. Queen Seralith entered. She was otherworldly, tall, sleek, with semi-luminescent skin that shimmered like polished obsidian. Her eyes, 4 of them, glowed in hues he couldn't name, and her armor, grown from Zevarian living metal, clung to her in a form-fitting shell that shifted with her every breath. Aaron bowed clumsily. "My queen." She studied him with 2 eyes while the other 2 scanned the room, ever vigilant, ever in control. "You must be the human engineer," she said, voice smooth but edged with command. "The one who understands molecular lattice structures better than your kind typically does." Aaron felt heat rise in his cheeks. "That's me, I guess." "You guess?" A faint amusement touched her lower pair of eyes. "Your nervousness is unnecessary. Should I have wished to end you, I would not have summoned you alone." "That's comforting," he muttered. This time, she definitely smirked. Then she lifted her hand. A panel on her armor flickered and cracked, like glass under pressure. And Aaron understood why he was here. Her armor was damaged. And not just any section. The chest plate, directly over her core heart, a rare dual-organ critical for Zevarian queens. A breach there could kill her. "Your armor is built with self-regeneration," Aaron said quietly. "Why hasn't it repaired itself?" Seralith inhaled slowly. "Because the injury was inflicted by a weapon forged from my own genetic line. A treasonous invention. The living metal rejects itself." A Zevarian civil conflict? A hidden enemy? Aaron felt his throat tighten. "Someone tried to assassinate you." Her gaze hardened. "More than tried. And if this plate is not stabilized soon, it will collapse inward." He approached cautiously. "Why call for a human?" he asked. "Because your people are unpredictable," she replied. "You alter technologies. You fix the unfixable. You see what my own cannot." She paused. "And more importantly, you are not part of my palace politics. You are neutral." Aaron kneeled before her, examining the armor. The fissure shimmered like a wound filled with light. "It's beautiful," he murmured without thinking. Seralith's head tilted slightly, all 4 eyes narrowing, not in anger, but in surprise. Zevarians lived for efficiency. Beauty was accidental. And yet, she didn't correct him. Beginning of the procedure. Aaron carefully opened his toolkit, simple metal instruments compared to the living technology he'd seen here. Seralith watched him closely. "You will need to adjust the molecular anchors beneath the plating," she said. "The chamber is delicate." He nodded. "I'll be gentle." Then she added quietly, her voice dropping an octave. "Be gentle, it's very sensitive." Aaron froze. Her tone wasn't flirtatious. It wasn't embarrassed. It was a warning, one layered with vulnerability. Understood, he said softly. He approached her step by careful step. The Zevarian queen straightened her posture, shoulders squared but her breathing measured. She was preparing herself, bracing for something painful. The idea that this near-invincible ruler had to brace herself struck Aaron deeply. He lifted the tool with steady hands. Tell me if it hurts. Hurt. Her lips curved faintly. Human, we do not use that word lightly. When the tool made contact, the armor hissed, and Sarilith inhaled sharply. Too sharply for someone who claimed not to feel pain. Aaron paused. I can stop. No. She exhaled. Continue. Your touch is bearable. He resumed work. Slowly. Carefully. The armor pulsed under his fingers like a living heartbeat. Sarilith spoke quietly, perhaps to distract herself. My people consider the core heart sacred. To expose it is to reveal weakness. She looked down at him, towering, regal yet fragile. You are the only outsider alive who has seen mine. That's an honor, Aaron said. It is, she replied, and a risk for both of us. He nodded, adjusting the final anchor. Those who targeted you, will they strike again? Yes, she answered simply. Power attracts betrayal. As he secured the final seal, the living metal pulsed softly, shifting toward stability. Then suddenly, a tremor. A burst of energy shot from the fissure. Aaron flinched, stumbling backward. Sarilith hissed in pain, and for a moment, her knees buckled. Aaron reached forward, instinctively catching her at the waist. Her hands shot out, grabbing his shoulders with surprising gentleness for someone of her strength. For a moment, human and alien stood locked together. Close. Too close. Sarilith stared at him, for eyes wide, breathing unsteady. You touched me, she whispered. I didn't mean. No, her grip tightened slightly. I am simply unused to people catching me when I fall. There was a softness beneath her words, a soft confession of vulnerability rarely shared by rulers or warriors. She steadied herself, allowing him to lower her into a nearby crystalline chair.